All right, welcome back to the best damn training channel on YouTube. Today is Wednesday, upper body day in the gym. We're gonna start off with med ball throws like we've been doing for the past few weeks. Gonna choose 3 different variations, do 3 to 5 reps on each of these throws, and then we're gonna move on to the bench press to start off today's session. The variation for the first throw that I chose is just a variation that popped into my head as I was taking the barbells off the wall. And I thought to myself, I wanna do some sort of chest pass, but I want to make it a little bit different than what I've been doing previously. So I put the boxes here and I'm going to do kind of like a seated chest pass. So I'm going to start from a seated position. I'm going to use my legs to help me generate some more power. And then I'm going to just toss this ball against the wall as hard as I can. And we'll do 2 sets on this one here. I feel like I need more space because I'm going to jump into the wall, but we'll just be careful and try not to hurt ourselves on this first rep here. Oh yeah, that'll be good. Oh, we'll just catch it. One more. I like that one. So we'll do 2 sets on that. And then we're gonna go into some sort of rotation variation today for the second throw. Throw number 2, we're gonna do that slam, catch, toss. So we're gonna slam the ball overhead down to the floor. As that ball's bouncing, we're gonna load up, grab that ball behind us, and then launch that ball against the wall. I just realized this. When I'm talking to y'all on the camera, I say we when I'm talking about me. Like it's me and other people. And I say us. I say we're gonna slam the ball down on the ground. I'm gonna grab the ball behind us and then throw it against the wall. I don't know why I say that. It's just me in here. Why do I say we and us when I'm talking about me and I? Strange. Maybe it's because I feel like y'all are here with me. I got a camera. Through that lens of the camera is like a dimension into the interwebs and everybody's just there watching me. I don't know, but that's what we're gonna do. Slam, load, throw. We'll do 3 reps on each side, 4 reps on each side, I don't know. All right, I need a little bit more room on that. Tell you what, I'm feeling powerful right now. All right, 2 sets of that. Then we're gonna go into some sort of an overhead variation. I got an idea for throw number 3 that I want to do today. It just popped in my head. I want to do some overhead variation. I've been doing this one where I kind of load up, drop the knees down, load up as much as I can, launch that ball against the wall. I'm gonna do that today. I'm gonna do it from my knees. So I'm gonna put this mat down. I'm gonna kneel down onto the ground. I'm gonna just load up the ball as much as I can. And then as I'm in this loaded position where I have this ball overhead, what I'm gonna try to do is just throw that ball as hard as I can against the wall. I have not done a rep of this yet. So this is going to be the first time I'm ever doing this. So if it looks like trash or I bust my ass or whatever happens here, please forgive me. Okay, I don't hate it. I don't know if I love this yet though. Okay, I felt something on that one. I got an idea for how I want to do. I think what I'm gonna do is once I get into this loaded position, I'm gonna try to lift by kind of like driving my, oh, there you go. Exactly what I thought I was gonna do. I'm gonna try to lift by driving my toes into the ground, get my knees off of the ground. And as you saw how I just fell forward, that should load it up really well to where I can project this ball a little bit further and a little bit harder forward. So we're gonna try this with the ball. I almost fell on my ass just trying to demo it, but we'll see how this goes. Awkward as fuck. we need to build some coordination there. But in theory, that load, by picking myself up, it should help me launch that ball. I actually like that right there. I just don't feel like I'm getting a lot of force. That was better. We'll do a few more and then we'll go start on the bench press here. The feel is starting to come in. I'm getting a little bit more comfortable with this. Let's see if I can't. I feel like I'm picking myself up, pushing, and then bringing this foot forward. I'm gonna see if I can't switch it over to the opposite side and feel like throwing with that other foot going forward gives me a little bit more power. Kind of pushing off a little bit more on one side than the other. I almost bust my ass on that one. But we're done with the throws today. We're gonna go on to some bench press. What we got today on the bench press is 6 sets of 3 pause reps at 115 to 125 kilos. There's not a specific time I have set for me for this pause. I'm just trying to bring that bar down to the chest, hold it there, and then press above. What I'm really trying to do is just take that bounce off of the chest here by adding that pause in there. So being a little bit more strict on that transition between the eccentric and the concentric phase. The biggest mistake people make is they bring that bar down to the chest and they rest it on the chest as they're pausing. So it's not, right, we don't do pause reps so we can train the sternum to hold as much weight as we can. We do pause reps to break up that transition between eccentric to concentric, because you will get a little bit of a stretch and a bounce at the bottom, which is going to assist you with driving that bar up off of the chest. So when you do that pause, you need to stay engaged and just barely be testing the sternum there. You don't want to be resting that bar on your sternum. So you bring the bar down, stay engaged though. I'm not resting the bar here. I'm staying engaged as I do this. I can feel the bar against my sternum, but my arms, my chest, my shoulders, everything is still firing right now. And then you explode through. And it doesn't have to be a super long pause. You don't need to hold that down there for 2-3 seconds. You just need to bring it down, stop, and then press through. Just take that bounce out of the bottom as you do. This is gonna help you with controlling the bar down. That's also gonna help you with driving that bar off of the shoulders, because you're gonna need to be controlled because you're planning on stopping that bar. You're not just bringing the bar down and bouncing it. So control the eccentric, pause, and then think about just punching that bar as hard as you can off the chest. So I'm gonna do a few warm-up sets here, and then we're gonna get up to that 115 mark. We'll start knocking off some reps. I don't know if I'll build up to 125 or not, but I got 6 total sets here that I'm gonna end up doing. So as the first few sets go by, we'll make a decision if we're gonna build up or not today. All right, we got 100. If 100 feels good, we'll just go straight to 115 after this. All right, 115 it is. First set going down. We'll do at least 2 sets at 115 before I make the decision on if I'm gonna go up or not. 115 feels good. But I don't know if y'all can feel this today, but I have a new kind of sense of energy that I'm feeling today. I woke up feeling amazing. I think part of the reason why is the last few weeks I've been feeling off a little bit. Part of the reason is I'm so focused on like this vacation that I'm about to go on that I think I'm just going through the days and kind of feeling like I was going through the motions. So yesterday I called up my therapist, talked to her about it, everything's been going on, how I've been feeling. She put some things into perspective for me. I'm really grateful to have the opportunity to speak to somebody that can help me understand me a little bit better. And after that conversation that I had yesterday, it was so simple, just the things that I need to focus on a day-to-day basis and enjoy the time that I'm here versus looking to get through this time to get to something that I want to do in the future, which is my vacation. So I'm feeling much better today. I have just a new sense of energy. Overall, I feel really good. Everything is clicking today. I feel like you guys can pick that up through the camera because when I have like high energy days and I'm feeling really, really good, I feel like I ramble a lot more on the camera and I'm just chirp, 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 and just going nonstop like that. And I have that feeling today. When I have those feelings, I know it's like, okay, today's about to be a good day. I'm about to have some good training. That's the sense of feeling that I have right now. But yeah, it's amazing to have somebody that is on the outside that can give you an unbiased opinion on what they see and their interpretations of my actions, my words, my moods, and be able to put things into perspective is something that I would encourage everyone to do. So if you have a hard time with anything, if you just feel like you're off, you don't even need to be like depressed. You don't need to be, if you just feel like something's off, having somebody else to speak to about things like that is definitely incredible. So that was my, I didn't plan on talking about that, but that was my unsolicited, I go to therapy and therapy works type of advice. But we're gonna knock out set number 2 here. Also, the weather is incredible. I feel like I'm sweating right now. It's warm outside. All right, we're going to 120. Another thing is I woke up today. I felt so good. I decided to put a gold chain on to come train. I never do that. I don't know why I did. I just woke up and was like, you know what? Today is just a gold chain type of day. So the mood is high. The vibes are high. I don't have no music playing, but I feel good. We're gonna do 125 for a 3, or no, excuse me, this is 120. All right, we're going to 125. We're gonna do our last 3 sets on this at our heavy end of our range today. I don't even feel like I need much rest right now. Like the energy is through the roof. We're just gonna knock out set number 4 here, 125 kilos on the bar. All right, 2 more sets of that, and then we're gonna move on to the next part for today's session. All right, we're gonna stay on the rack over here, but we're going to do some bent over rows. Plan here is to just do some heavy sets of like 8 reps. So I don't know if 110 is gonna be too heavy, but we're about to find out. I didn't do any sets prior to this. I just dropped the barbell down and then decided I wanted to go for it. So man, I scratched my leg on that knurling a little bit, but I think we'll go up a little bit. 110 felt pretty easy. We'll go 120. We'll do our last 2 sets of 8 at that 120. So again, like the progression from the previous training block is choosing a movement that's gonna have more ability to load up. So what I've been doing was we did the incline press last training block. We did inverted row after that. So now, rather than doing an incline press, we're doing pause benches, which is a movement that's a little bit more specific towards building up to a heavy 1 rep max bench press. Plus it's a movement that's more loadable as well. Here we go from inverted rows into bent over rows. So this is going to allow us to load that back movement up a little bit, get some heavier pulling into the program now. Since the previous block was more about volume, I was doing those inverted rows body weight and just kind of repping it out into like that 1 to 2 reps in reserve range for most of those sets. So again, the theme of this training block is we're loading up movements now. We're trying to build strength off of that kind of volume foundation phase that we started off with for this program. All right, 1 more set of 8 on that, and then we're gonna move on to some shrugs. Whew. All right, next thing we're gonna do is 2 sets of some heavy barbell shrugs. So again, the progression is choose movements we can load up heavier than previously. We did dumbbells. Part of the problem with the dumbbells that I have is they only go up to 50 kilos, which is like 100 and something pounds each. So now using a barbell allows me to really load this movement up and go really heavy on it. So I got 170 kilos here, and I'm gonna just do 2 reps and burn this out to like 3 to 4 reps in reserve. So I'm not too worried about specific amount of repetitions here. If anything, I just want a heavy movement. And some people don't like doing shrugs, say that they may even say shrugs don't do much for you, but I like shrugs. Shrugs are fun. One thing I do try to do with shrugs though is I'm not worried about like going straight up and down. I'm not trying to get to here. You'll notice that I kind of hinge over a little at the hip. And what I think about doing is I think about pulling my shoulders back behind my head. So I'm trying to get into this plane here. I don't know if you can see it with the light, but I'm trying to squeeze those traps together behind my neck. I'm not just gonna be going like straight up and down with that movement. So a slight hinge, pull the shoulders back behind your head. I really feel the traps as I do it that way versus doing straight up and down from a standings. So I'm gonna do 2 sets of that. I got 1 more on those. 170 felt good. But up next for what you guys are gonna see is we're gonna transition our body weight dips into a loaded variation of dips. All right, so the next movement we got is weighted dips, as I said, and I'm loading these up with 20 kilos. So essentially 20% body weight, even though I'm not exactly 100 kilos, I'm a few kilos below that. What I'm looking at doing is essentially the same thing with the shrugs, 2 sets, 3 to 4 reps in reserve range, and then just kind of burn these out, loading this movement up over the next few weeks. So we'll start off with like 20% body weight this week. We'll jump up to about 30% body weight and then maybe get to like 40, 50% body weight as we get into our heavier weeks. Biggest thing here though, when you load up this movement, I like to use percentage of body weight because it's the easiest way to progress that. But also don't go so heavy that you start shortening up that range of motion. A lot of times people will load up dips and they're really good at body weight dips, getting down into the bottom, getting that good stretch and then pressing up out of that. As soon as they add any sort of load to this movement, they start shortening up that movement. Do not shorten up the movement. Load this up to where you can still hit end range of motion, but don't load it up so much that you have to start doing like half reps or 3/4 reps because you can't get out of that bottom position. The most important thing with the dip is getting into that bottom position so you can stretch through the pec, through the shoulder, get a good stretch onto the triceps, and then you're extending through as hard as you can from that bottom position. 3 to 4 reps in reserve. Nice solid set there. So take a couple minute break. We'll knock out another set on this, and then we're gonna finish off with some sexy bicep curls today to end today's session. All right, last thing for today is some dumbbell hammer curls. And again, we're just doing 2 sets. I got 25 kilos in each hand. I'm just looking at getting some good reps in here, hit the biceps a little bit, get a pump, feel good. Stare at yourself in the mirror while you do this and appreciate all the hard work you've been putting in for the past, I don't know, 5 weeks, 6 weeks. But even before that, when we did the combine program, before that, when we did the vertical jump program, all the work that we've been putting in for the past 2 years, year and a half, since I've really been focusing on this channel. And I just want to say I appreciate you guys for being here. I appreciate you guys for watching these videos, for liking, everyone who has subscribed. That's helped the channel grow. Y'all are some dope ass people, and I'll never be able to say I appreciate you guys enough. But that's gonna be it for today. Again, I appreciate y'all for watching. Make sure to like, make sure to subscribe. And I'll catch y'all in the next one.